You're standing in a cave 43,000 years ago, and someone is holding a bone up to their mouth, not to eat, to play. It has holes drilled into it, spaced with a precision that took hours to get right, carved by hands that had no written language, no metal tools, and, as far as we know, no reason to survive the night without doing this. Because that's the part that should unsettle you. In a world where every calorie mattered, where a single bad hunt could kill your children, somebody stopped surviving long enough to make something that produces no food, no warmth, no shelter, just sound. So, why would a species clawing for survival invent something as useless as music? That question has split archaeologists, neuroscientists, and evolutionary biologists for over a century. And the answer depends entirely on whether music was ever useless at all. In 2008, archaeologist Nicholas Conrad at the University of Tübingen was excavating Hohlefels Cave in southern Germany when his team pulled 12 fragments from the sediment. Pieced together, they formed a flute carved from a griffin vulture's wingbone, 5 finger holes, a carved mouthpiece. Radiocarbon dating placed it at roughly 43,000 years old. That makes it older than cave painting, older than pottery, older than the bow and arrow. Conrad's team found more flutes carved from mammoth ivory at nearby sites, requiring the maker to split solid ivory along its grain, hollow it out, and drill holes without cracking it. That's not improvisation, that's engineering, that's patience, that's a plan. And these weren't crude noisemakers. Researchers who reconstructed the Hohlefels flute found it could play a recognizable pentatonic-style scale. Whoever built it understood pitch. But flutes aren't the beginning. They're evidence of something already mature. Long before anyone carved bone, humans almost certainly used the instrument they already had: the voice, the chest, the hands. Ethnomusicologists studying isolated hunter-gatherer societies today, the Hadza of Tanzania, the Jew Hoansi of the Kalahari, find complex vocal and rhythmic traditions embedded in daily life. Healing dances, mourning songs, hunting calls. If music requires no tools at all, how far back does it actually go? Stephen Mithen, an archaeologist at the University of Reading, argues in his book The Singing Neanderthals that musical capacity, pitch, rhythm, melody predates language itself, possibly stretching back to Homo heidelbergensis over 500,000 years ago. Mithen's theory: early hominins communicated through something closer to song than speech, an emotional, musical proto-language before words split off from melody. And that theory collides head-on with one of the strangest artifacts ever pulled from the ground. In 1995, archaeologist Ivan Turk excavated a cave in Slovenia called Divja Babe and found a juvenile cave bear femur with 2, possibly 4 neat holes punched through it, dated to roughly 60,000 years old, in a layer with no evidence of modern humans nearby. Only Neanderthals. If Neanderthals made music, everything changes. Some researchers, like musicologist Bob Fink, argued the spacing matched a diatonic scale almost perfectly. Others, like archaeologist Francesco Derrico, countered that the holes were bite marks from a hyena's teeth, not human craftsmanship, a natural accident mistaken for intention. The debate is still unresolved. No consensus, no clean answer, but the fact that scientists can't rule it out matters. It means music may not be uniquely human at all. So here's the real problem. Evolution is ruthless. It does not preserve expensive behaviors for no reason. So what was music for? Charles Darwin himself proposed an answer in 1871: sexual selection. Music, he argued, functioned like a peacock's tail, a costly, impressive display, signaling fitness to potential mates. But that's not the only theory competing for the answer. Psychologist Robin Dunbar at Oxford argues music evolved for social bonding. Groups singing and rhythmic movement trigger endorphin release, synchronizing large groups faster than one-on-one grooming ever could. In a species living in growing social groups, that's not decoration. That's glue holding a tribe together when a single person's loyalty could mean survival or death. A third camp, including psychologist Sandra Trehub, points to something even more intimate: infant-directed song. Every human culture studied sings to babies in strikingly similar melodic patterns. Soothing, rhythmic, repetitive, suggesting music may have first evolved as a parenting tool, calming infants too undeveloped to be carried while foraging. Which theory wins? Probably none of them alone, and all of them together. Music likely didn't arrive as one invention with one purpose. It emerged as multiple pressures converged. Infant care demanded soothing rhythm, growing social groups demanded bonding, mate selection rewarded skill and creativity. Each pressure reinforced the others until humans arrived carrying an instinct for rhythm and pitch baked directly into the brain. And that's why every culture ever studied, with zero exceptions, has music. No isolated tribe, no matter how cut off from the rest of humanity, has ever been found without it. Compare that to writing, which multiple societies never independently developed. Music has no such gaps. That's not a coincidence. That's a signature of something ancient, wired deep, older than agriculture, older than cities, quite possibly older than our own species.